Our next guest is an inspiring artist, music teacher, and youth mental health speaker from Niagara Falls, who has taken her inspirational story literally to the next level. Madette Mendoza recently won second place at North America's largest inspirational speaking competition. Madette, for those that don't know, what is Speaker Slam?
Speaker Slam is Canada's largest inspirational speaking competition. And I first heard about Speaker Slam through Instagram about 6 years ago. I started following them without the intention of wanting to compete at the time. But when they announced the theme of perseverance this year, it just really spoke to me, and I thought, why not give it a shot and see what happens? I sent in an application, and here we are now.
A second place winner. The theme, as you say, was perseverance. You have your own personal connection to that.
As a child, I struggled with social anxiety, and that led to suicidal depression as a teenager. And eventually, turning into a young adult, I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. So I've had a life of mental health challenges, but the one thing that kept me going and gave me the strength to keep going was music. Music gave me a sense of hope and resilience, which has led me to what I do now, which is I founded my own music school, Resilient Musicians Academy, and I teach my students how to sing and play the music that they love so that they have that emotional outlet as well and have a way to build their emotional resilience.
And you talk about perseverance, you talk about that music, and you mentioned that in your Speaker Slam speech. What was it like preparing for that?
It was very challenging. I have a lot of life lessons, and it was challenging to want to cram everything in a 5-minute speech. So the goal was to focus on one story and one clear universal message, and it was very rewarding at the end of it.
But like you say, not easy, because you have to get it in within a certain amount of time frame, and then if you go over, you were mentioning that you get deducted points too.
You get deducted points. There is a grace period of 30 seconds after 5 minutes, but after that you do get deducted some points.
And I was mentioning to you, I love how you started it off and ended it with your song. How hard was that to do? That must have been so nerve-wracking going into it, because you don't know if the audience is going to respond to you.
You don't know, but what's great about Speaker Slam is the positive environment. If you've never gone to a Speaker Slam event before, you will just feel such pure positive energy in the room. So I felt like it was a high risk to get the audience to sing, but I knew that there was a high chance that they would sing along with me.
And I love that you said in that speech, you need two things, and it was the music and then that friend, right? It was that piece was really helpful in your journey to persevere and to overcome the things that you were dealing with. What advice would you give to folks that are having a hard time day to day, struggling, perseverance, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I have two pieces of advice. The first thing is to know that it is completely okay to not be okay. We all go through our ups and downs in life, and it's part of being human to feel down sometimes, or depressed, or discouraged sometimes. And my second piece of advice is for finding your healthy outlet. For me, that was music, and I believe that everyone can find their healthy outlet to help them express their emotions rather than suppressing them. So that could be through singing, dancing, writing, or even going to therapy. I think just having a healthy outlet is so important for our mental health and well-being.
I'm dying to know, because you mentioned your friend from college that helped you with all that. Do you still talk to her?
Yes, I do.
That's amazing.
Yes, we're
So
still
nice
best friends until now.
That's awesome. So you came in second. What's next for you?
I am preparing for the Grand Slam happening on November 9th, and this is where all of the top speakers of each Speaker Slam competition of the year are going to be going head to head, so it's very exciting.
Madette, what will you do to prepare for the next competition? Is it the same rules, same theme?
Same rules, it has to be 5 minutes, and it's going to be a completely different theme. So they are going to announce the theme about 6 or 7 weeks prior so that we all have an equal amount of time to prepare for it.
Beyond the next competition, what are your hopes and dreams moving forward?
My hope is to extend my story to elementary schools, high schools, colleges, universities. I believe that I have a story that's really important for kids and teenagers and young adults to hear and be inspired by, and I hope that I can be somewhat of a role model for them.
Definitely people can relate to the things that you've talked about, Madette. Thank you so much for joining us in the studio today.